Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Roller Coaster Rider,
Hi, I'm Kay.
and this is part of our Japan Film Festival where, because we're going to various parks, including Universal Studios Japan, which has various attractions that are based, obviously, on their movies or other properties, we're going to review 1995's Waterworld.
Was it 95?
I think so, 95 or 90. Yeah, maybe 95.
Okay. It was
Yeah,
PG-13.
I've heard all I've heard about this movie is that it was not one of the most beloved movies, and it was,
Very expensive to make.
yeah, for some reason the budget inflated, and I think I know where that money might have gone because it clearly didn't really go to much of the writing, and it clearly
Or
didn't
costumes.
or directing or directing.
It went to all the water that they had to use and all of those ships that
It went to
were
all,
lucky that they were hanging on. They were just kind of
it went
like
to all of the 5001 pointless action moments.
dilapidated boats.
And for the most part, that's about it, apparently, if I were to guess.
Coaster Kitty. Hi, baby.
Okay, so it has Kevin Costner as a huge a-hole jerk.
Yeah, but then he came out being the good guy at the end.
Yeah,
He finally made
yeah,
friends
whatever.
with a couple people.
Yeah, this movie inspired a lot of movies, surprisingly. Like, there was one chunk where it felt like it was clearly referencing, or it influenced Battleship. Part of it looks like it or it influenced Moana.
Oh, I didn't think about that one.
Yeah, with the little girl.
Yeah, true. And the little girl,
I'm sure part of it was used with Titanic, if I were to guess, and
maybe.
maybe it was either and it was maybe a little influenced by Top Gun, maybe,
With the jet skis, maybe? I don't know.
yeah,
What it boiled
and
down
maybe
to
even
is
Jules Verne.
I don't know that. This little girl had some type of
Should we
tattoo, birthmark, whatever.
Can I do one political joke?
Why?
Because it's relevant.
Hurry up.
Okay.
I don't like these guys.
It's said in the year 2500 where the polar ice caps have melted. I guess Donald Trump is a huge fan of this movie or whoever the EPA is, because that's what they're trying to do.
Okay, that's enough. Done.
Okay.
So what it is everybody talks about dry land. Somewhere in this
Sometimes in
vast,
Portuguese.
yes, Portuguese and Portuguese, Greek, and English. Because that one boat, they made up their own language, and he said it was like Portuguese, Greek, or something.
I only know it's kind of Portuguese because I looked up a drinking game for this movie.
The one thing of it is that this little girl kind of had a tattooed map or birthmark or something on her that everybody was talking about trying to find dry land.
Cutthroat Island.
Okay, whatever. I don't remember that movie too well. Maybe that's a good thing. But, so everybody...
Okay. Cutthroat Island makes Waterworld look like, I don't know, the Avengers in terms of profit.
Okay. So, our favorite man, bad guy,
Kevin Costner.
Dennis Hopper,
Oh!
he was like trying to trick a lot of people into believing that he knew where the dry land was.
Did we say...
And they had to get this little girl to be mapped.
You're going a little ahead. Shouldn't we explain why he's with a little girl and the mother?
Well, because they want to get off this other like circular ship that it was like a harbor.
No, just keep going. Where the battle goes on for like 20 to 30, was it minutes or days or hours? Because it was kind of dull after a while.
I think it was only minutes.
Oh, it felt like it was 2 years.
But this, okay, so all of these banged up boats put together with whatever they could find in the ocean and whatever they could trade. So Kevin Costner had a jar
Dirt.
full of dirt.
Mm-hmm. which is apparently gold nowadays. So
Right, a lot of money.
He gets what, a bunch of chips or something? They look like casino chips.
Yeah. And he
Where'd they get those? But moving on.
Okay. That's their currency or whatever. Jigs or chips, they called them, or whatever.
They look like casino
and
chips, so I'm going to call them chips.
Yeah. So then he goes to buy, what? A tomato plant, water. What else did he buy there?
I don't know, but then
Were they pots and pans or something?
But then people apparently find out that he's what? Part King Triton?
Half man, half fish. His
Throw
ears,
in the Little Mermaid, they rip that off too.
His ears have like gills, and his feet are web, and the rest of him looks like a man. So
his ear looked like it was plastic almost.
Yeah, it had to be.
And I don't know, that looked kind of cheap.
Yeah. So what they did is they caged him, and then what had happened...
And he acted like a caged animal, like going, rawr.
He was trying to scare that old man away.
He acted like Coaster Kitty if we took her to the vet.
Yeah. He was trying to scare that old man away that was trying to find out if he knew where the dry land was. Or, yeah, dry land, I think they kept calling it.
And so the mom and the daughter, who I would probably say the mom and the daughter were my favorite characters because I liked them all during this movie. I hated Kevin Costner for a good hour and a half of this 16-hour movie.
No, I think it was only 2 hours and 16 minutes.
It was so long, I feel like it's still playing in the theaters.
No, your other favorite Kevin Costner movie is longer.
Oh yeah, Dances with Wolves.
Yeah, wasn't that almost 3 hours or something?
3.5.
So anyway, but back to this. So he is...
a jerk.
He is caged.
Oh.
And he would like to get out. And then this boat-like type harbor is becoming attacked by Dennis Hopper's... They're called smokers.
Yeah.
They ride a bunch of jet skis and they ride these other boats and everything. So they're trying to get the girl, which the one guy that was on that circular harbor boat, whatever, he was working with Dennis Hopper's character. And you didn't think that was actually happening until you actually saw it done. So anyway, so everything is starting to blow up. Everyone's starting to get shot and everything else. And the older gentleman that was with this lady and this girl, he had an an airplane or a hot air balloon or something?
Yeah, that's where I was talking about Da Vinci or Around the World in 80 Days.
Yeah. So he had that thing.
Not great movie.
And he wasn't meaning to set it off, and he did. He set it off, so the lady and the little girl... could not make it onto there.
Oh, now I know what this movie also reminded me of. Pan. When Dennis Hopper was given the speech, and I don't know, it just felt a lot like Pan. That Hugh Jackman Peter Pan movie.
Yeah.
This movie influenced a lot of great movies. Oof.
Yeah. Too bad this one wasn't super great. But anyway...
And then it ends with another action scene, which in my opinion is much better than the first one.
Well, Dennis Hopper's men capture the girl. And then after Kevin Costner takes the lady down that she can see actually land, where he had gotten the treasures that he had gotten that nobody else could find...
yeah.
But he was able to find. So when they came back up...
Which, that was like a 4-minute segment that could have been just cleared up in a sentence.
Yeah. And that's when Dennis Hopper's merry old men took the girl.
Into another action scene.
And then burned his boat. And then, hark, here comes the hot air balloon / airplane. Picks them up. And takes them... so that they could get to where the girl was or whatever. Or no, wait. He left
You're
the
kind
lady.
of going all over the place.
Yeah, I know. I just realized that. So
You just realized that 9 minutes into the review?
so what? So then go ahead, you review it then.
There's some pretty there is some cool parts at the very end, uh, where it feels kind of like Die Hard style, where Kevin Costner saves the girl. I'm not gonna say how, but it's actually a pretty cool thing. It's a pretty cool action scene too. Um, I have a few problems with this movie.
I think you had a lot. You talked through it a lot.
One of my main things was the action scenes. I think like two or three of them were very. They just stayed at like 5 or 7. I'll be generous and say 7. They just stayed at 7. It was just one flat, like it didn't escalate, and it was just so many things moving around that you couldn't really follow what was going on. It was like, okay, I know of only like 3 people out of like 200 people in this thing, and I really only know Kevin Costner because the mom and the daughter are pretty much like extras until they get more into the movie when they leave the island.
Leave the Harbor Bay
Harbor,
ship,
yeah, whatever. You know what I mean, people.
Yeah, because
Leave the floating boardwalk.
yeah, supposedly there is dry land somewhere. So anyway, they're looking at the
I
map.
had a few more flaws.
Okay, but just a second. They're looking at the map, but then Kevin Costner said, "You're looking at it upside down." So then they were like, "Dry land is that way."
And it is kind of beautiful, I wonder if some of that was CG or if it was or if it was an actual mountain, because if it was CG, that's again probably where some of the budget went.
I think it was actual because they were
I
actually in the waterfall. And remember towards the end when the lady and the girl went up the hill?
To fetch a pail of water?
No.
That's a reference to a fairy tale, people.
I didn't know if you wanted me to say what happens at the end or not.
Oh, do
you want to do a spoiler or no?
Nah. I thought that they were going to kind of sequel bait it, but they don't. I guess they saw the movie and were like, yeah, probably not.
I don't think it won too many awards, did it?
Oh, Razzies maybe.
Oh.
But we all know how good the Razzies are, but that's another discussion.
Yep.
Anyway,
if you like Kevin Costner and you haven't watched
I had more flaws.
Oh, go ahead. Oh my God. Don't you think you gave enough?
I only said 1.
Okay, go for it. There was a lot of water and it was blue.
No.
The sharks?
Oh yeah, that 2 times. Anyway, the action scenes I felt were kind of boring, and I'm not sure exactly. I think I know where the money went, but I'm not sure if it was needed all the time. Like, I have to imagine part of that budget went into showing the world underwater and, like, picking up dirt and showing it to her. I have to imagine some money went into that again, that could have been just said with, there's land down there. That's how I get dirt.
True, I guess.
Little Mermaid was more realistic. And I'm talking about the Disney one. But yeah, and the action scenes, they're just so huge that they're just kind of boring. Again, reminded me of Cutthroat Island about how those were also long action sequences with explosions that took place on ships in the water and also got dull after a while.
Mm-hmm.
Two other faults that this movie had was...
But the thing of it was, everybody was in water and they were on boats or they were on ships. So you kind of actually had the same thing happen over and over again.
I'm just curious. The DVD said that this movie has refreshing humor. This movie has refreshing humor in the same way salt is refreshing.
Okay.
I also didn't like Kevin Costner. You know, like, it looks like he was gonna beat up the two women that were on the boat several times. He was going to beat them up.
Well, he wasn't a trustful soul.
He was like, I don't care, just go away.
Yep.
Stop drawing on my boat.
She wanted to decorate it for him.
But yes, and probably the saddest part, if you couldn't tell from my comment about the humor, is that it was just kind of boring. There wasn't really any, like, true humor.
Yeah.
We saw another movie that, well, yeah, was more critically praised, but it was also much funnier. And this guy, I think, did Escape to Witch Mountain with Eric Von Detten, which I thought that was a little more humorous, but maybe it was just casting. Anyway, we'll let you know what we think of the stunt show in Japan. I wouldn't recommend people see this movie, would you?
Not really, unless you need something to help you fall asleep.
Or you want to, or you're, I don't know.
Or is there a water drinking game with Portuguese and water? Every time you see water, drink some water.
You'd have to drink the ocean.
Yeah, from beginning till end.
Anyway,
he did turn out to be a good guy, so even if you watch just the last maybe hour.
I would say maybe the last, like, 30... Yeah, maybe 30...
Well,
just watch the last 40 minutes. You won't need to know anything else.
But you have to work up to what the little girl stands for. So
however, men,
you need to know a little of that.
However, men, go on Mr. Skin if you want to see if there's anything else you want to see besides the last 40 minutes.
Yep. Okay.
Made the movie much better.
Sounds good.
No offense, ladies.
Yep. So take care.
Very odd romance.
Yep. If you need to have a boring night, watch it. Or if you're really a big fan of Kevin Costner, it was totally out of
if you're a Kevin Costner
out of his
fan,
other characters. This was totally different.
If you're a Kevin Costner fan, watch 3 Days to Kill.
Yeah.
That's a much better movie. It moves much faster, and it's actually funny.
Okay, I think they get our drift, right? Okay. We're going to let you go now. Have a great night.
We'll see you
when we get back.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.